To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day. Yeah. Everything you need to know that you never knew, that you need to know. Look our perspective.
Hello and good evening to everyone. It's me, Felicia. I'm so happy to be with you guys tonight. We're just going to touch base with a couple of news toppings, or can we say news toppings? Yeah, the news toppings that top the day. How about that? Hey, hey, hey. Let's see who we've got in the chat. Oh, nobody yet, but that's all right. Let's go on ahead and just pull this news over. I want you guys, excuse me, to see this with me now. And this is about the Biden administration. Hello, Rachel Van Ziel. Here are just a couple of little stories. So this one is the Biden administration will keep trying to end the Trump era, remain in Mexico asylum program despite the court order. I wonder what that means. Let's see. I'm sorry, still fighting that cough, you guys. Keep me lifted up. All right, so weeks after a judge ordered President Joe Biden to restore a controversial Trump-era policy requiring asylum seekers to wait in Mexico for their days in the United States Immigration Court, the administration promised Wednesday to issue a new memo ending the policy as Biden's immigration agenda faces court challenges, political acrimony, and a surge in migration levels. So here are some of the key facts, and this comes from Forbes. So it goes on to say that the Department of Homeland Security says that it will release an updated memo within the next few days attempting to terminate the Trump administration's migrant protection protocols, often called the Remain in Mexico program. Another one of the key facts are that Biden initially terminated MPP earlier this year, but a judge, Matthew Karsmack, reversed his order in August, arguing that officials did not follow the correct steps for changing a federal policy and aren't detaining enough asylum seekers after entering into the United States. Meanwhile, the Department of Homeland Security said a new memo ending MPP will address, quote, address the concerns raised by the court, close quote, and it won't become effective unless Karsmack's ruling, which the Supreme Court allowed to take effect last month, is lifted. Now, DHS says that it's working hard in good faith to restart the MPP in compliance with the order, a process that will require cooperation from the Mexican government, which has been non-committal about allowing MPP to fully resume so far. Now, some of the background is that starting in 2019, former President Donald Trump required tens of thousands of migrants who attempted to seek asylum in the United States to temporarily stay on the Mexican side of the border, often in makeshift camps, while awaiting their court proceedings. The policy was a part of a broader Trump-era strategy to limit new asylum cases, reduce the unauthorized border crossings, and deter people from making the perilous journey in the first place. But MPP earned near constant criticism and drew legal challenges. Critics called the policy inhumane and dangerous, pointing to scores of kidnappings and assaults of asylum seekers who were forced to stay in the Mexico border cities, and warned that it could run afoul of the government's legal obligation to grant asylum to those who fear persecution in their home country. Biden gradually unwound MPP earlier this year and allowed many of its enrollees to enter into the United States. What do you guys think about that? I mean, there's a couple of other pieces here, and I'll just read one of them that I think stands out to me right now. And it is the heading of the surprising fact. The Biden administration has faced other court battles over the immigration policies. A Texas federal judge halted Biden's 100-day moratorium on its most deportations in January, and Texas court forced Biden in July to stop granting new applications in the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, an Obama-era policy offering temporary protection and work permits to undocumented immigrants who enter the United States as children. A D.C. federal judge also barred Biden from rapidly expelling families caught crossing the U.S.-Mexico border, and practice started by Trump but defended by the Biden administration. What do you guys think about that? Hello, Rachel and DJ Vision. How are you? So good to see you. What do you guys think? I mean, I don't know what's going on, but I do know what's going on. How about that? How about I say that? I don't know what's going on, but I do know what's going on. And it's not good. I do want to take a second to look inside of our mailbag because we've been getting some pretty good mail. I've got some, oh gosh, can't talk about that now that they just made a new rule. Oh, can't read about that because they just made a new rule here on YouTube. Oh, well, this might be pretty good. Let me read this to you guys because this I found quite interesting. I don't know what you all had to say about the last story. It did go by pretty quickly. But what I will say is, are you ready for this? Hey, Howell, how are you doing? Good to see you. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Let me give you something new to see right about here. Okay. And this came from one of our members. And let me get it. Is this it? Or do I want this one? This is the one I want to do. Oh. And I know that as soon as you see it, you're going to know who you are, who sent it. Okay. All right. All right. So here we go. This, believe it or not, is your brain on AI. I'm going to say it again. Your brain on AI. And it comes courtesy of our mailbag. And I don't see my mailbag anymore. It's not in here. Oh, I know what to do. I know how to get it. I know how to find it. Is this it? Is this it? No, it's gone. And it's because we had some mess over here in this side of the world with the computer. It wasn't a bad mess. It's just that, well, I'll just tell you that the company that owns the software that you think you own it, they came and said, oh, you're out of space. So we cleared out a lot of stuff, but I forgot my mailbag. And I don't think I like that. But anyway, boing, there go to my mailbag sound. For those of you who know what I mean, you appreciate that, I know. Look at this. This is Ray Kurzweil. In the 2030s, nanobots in our brains will make us, quote, godlike. Futurist and inventor Ray Kurzweil predicts humans are going to develop emotions and characteristics of higher complexity as a result of connecting their brains to computers. Now, this reminds me a lot of a movie or television series that was on Netflix. I'm not sure if you guys know what I'm talking about, but there was a series on Netflix. Yes, The Button. I don't know where the button is. I can't find my button. But this reminds me of one of those segments that was on Netflix. And the person, they had hooked them up to the back of their head and they could get all their memories and I don't know. Let's just finish. I like to digress a little. It says, quote, we're going to be funnier. We're going to be sexier. We're going to be better at expressing loving sentiment, close quote. Kurzweil said at a recent, and this was written in 2015, just to go to show you how close we're getting, right? Because we're at 2021 now. He said at a recent discussion at Singularity University, he is involved in developing artificial intelligence as a director of engineering at Google, but was not speaking on behalf of the company. Kurzweil predicts that in the 2030s, human brains will be able to connect to a cloud, allowing us to send emails and photos directly to the brain and back up to our thoughts and memories. This will be possible, he says, via nanobots, tiny robots from DNA strands swimming around in the capillaries of our brain. He sees the extension of our brain into predominantly nanobiological thinking as the next step in evolution of humans, just as learning to use tools for our ancestors. So just back in the day when our ancestors used a lot of different stuff, I'm sorry, you guys, I have to pause to cough because I'm not coughing on you all. Hello, Anarchy. Yes, the patent's out there, and that is from Rachel Van Ziel. And this extension, where did I stop? Where did I stop? Where did I stop, Anarchy? Oh, and ancestors. And this extension, he says, will enhance not just our logical intelligence, but also our emotional intelligence. Quote, we're going to add more levels to the hierarchy of brain modules, and create deeper levels of expression, he said. To demonstrate, he gave a hypothetical scenario with a Google co-founder, Larry Page. He says, quote, so I'm walking along and I see Larry Page coming and I think, quote, better think of something clever to say, close quote. But my 300 million modules in my neocortex isn't going to cut it. I need 1 billion in 2 seconds, and I'll be able to access that in the cloud. Just like I can multiply intelligence with my smartphone thousands of fold today, close quote. In addition to making us more clever in hallways, connecting our brains to the internet will also make each of us more unique, he said. Quote, right now, we all have very similar architecture to our thinking, close quote. He continues, when we can expand it without the limitations of fixed enclosure, we can actually become more different. And that's a quote. There's 2 we's. Actually become more different. He points to his head with that illustration. Now it goes on to say that people will be able to very deeply explore some particular type of music in far greater degree than we can today. It'll lead to a far greater individuality, not less. So basically, this is something that, as Rachel pointed out, has been patented, can be used, possibly is being used. That's the creepy part. I mean, you never know. You could take a swig of a beverage and you're drinking nanoparts or nanoparticles, little robots are in there letting them know that this stuff works because, well, you bought the soda and you gave them permission for whatever's in it, especially if they put on the label. And now here you are running around thinking that your thoughts are your own. And actually, not only are they yours, but there's everybody else that's thinking with you. Okay? Could be a whole laboratory full of people in white coats with, microscope and, little forceps and such. But anyway, the view is in stark contrast to a common perception often portrayed in science fiction that cyborg technologies makes us more robotic, less emotional, and less human. This concern is expressed by Dr. Miguel Nicoleas. So that's his name now. It looks like Nicolas. Yeah, Nicole is the first name, and then Liz is the last part. The head of the neuroengineering at Duke University, who fears that if we rely too much on machines, we'll lose diversity in human behavior because computers operate in black and white, ones and zeros without diversion. We're going to expand the brain's neurocortex and become more godlike. That is a quote from this whole entire article. Now, in response to Dr. Miguel Nicolas, Kurzweil believes that being connected to computers will make us more human, more unique, and even godlike. Quote, evolution creates structures and patterns that over time are more complicated, more knowledgeable, more creative, more capable of expressing higher sentiments like being loving. It was moving in the direction of qualities that God is described as having without limit. So as we evolve, we become closer to God. Evolution is a spiritual process. There is beauty and love and creativity and intelligence in the world. It all comes from the neocortex. So we're going to expand the brain's neocortex and become more godlike, close quote. But will the brain nanobots actually move out of science fiction and into reality? Or are they doomed to the fate of flying cars? Like Kurzweil, Nicholas Negroponte, the founder of the MIT Media Lab, thinks that nanobots in our brains could be the future of learning, allowing us, for example, to load the French language into the bloodstream of our brains. James Friend, a professor of the mechanical engineering at UC San Diego, focused on medical nanotechnology. And he thinks that we're only 2 to 5 years away from being able to effectively use the brain nanobots, for example, to prevent an epileptic seizure. Now, this was written in 2015. So, we need to comb this, which I will, and I will find if they have anything they'd like to, admit or share with the class. The article goes on to say, however, getting approval from the Food and Drug Administration would likely be very difficult. I don't think so, because under the Obama administration, they were very good about allowing Pepsi Cola to continue to use some of their contents. So I think they may have good success. So it just goes on to say that Friend told the World Post he thinks approval would take anywhere from only a few years to never happening because of people being concerned about swimming mysterious things into your head and leaving them there, close quote. Other scientists are skeptical that brain nanobots will be safe and effective anytime soon or at all, largely due to how little we currently understand about how the brain works. Now, I'm going to come out of this and I'm going to ask you all if you remember when there was the brain I think there was an executive order signed under the 2 administrations ago that dealt specifically with brain technology. Does anybody remember that? Let me read some of the comments here. I know that's the question. I'm looking at your statement. That is the question. Wow. Okay. So we said the button developed already and being developed. Absolutely, ma'am. Anarchy. Aw, I love the hearts. I love the heart, the hands, and the eyeballs. I always love the eyeballs. How's your family? How's your mom? Okay, so at Earth and Stars, they're responding on YouTube. It's fantastic at decoding movies and shows. You may like him. That must be a gentleman that she was sharing, or that A. Howell was sharing. Okay, let's see. Patents out there. You said that. Yes. Good to see you guys are loving on each other. Got it. So multi-leveled and controlling. I've been watching and warning people about AI robotics and cybernetics over 10 years. Oh, and the growth has been exponential. Yes, it has. You, as well as others, have sent me some very unique videos, and I actually subscribed to one of the channels that you all sent that has the dancing robots. I forgot the name of the company, but you guys sent that to me, and I think you did too. Anarchy, I'm not sure, but I know somebody sent me something with the dancing robots, and I went ahead and I subscribed because I thought, gee whiz. Yes, that's exactly what it is. So you guys, not really a lot. I just really wanted to come and touch you, to be candid with you, just to be honest with you. I just wanted to say hi, really. I've been everywhere else, but I don't get a chance to spend a lot of time with you guys over here. So I just thought that it would be very important to come and spend a few moments with you. There's some new stuff going on there in New York. Check out that governor. I understand that there is some newly released information, but I could not vet it. As much as I wanted to drop it, I can't. But I understand there's new stuff coming out of the place out west that starts with an A, and it's not Arkansas, and it's not New Mexico, it's not Albuquerque. But there's some new information, apparently, allegedly, that's coming out, and so we'll have to see if it's going to be picked up by the mainstream, or they're going to try to tactically take care of the issue so that no one will ever see it. But it did come from a pretty reliable source, although even though it's just one source, I have to have at least 2 more before I could run it, or at least one big heavy hitter. And by a heavy hitter, I mean a company that would drop the information and knows that it has to be truthful, or they would be in a lot of trouble. You know, an integrity company. Yeah, one that rocks integrity. So anyway, this story is amazing. I think it's, I don't know, can you swallow? Can you show this? It says, the nanobot surgeon you can swallow. So I guess this is saying that you can, let me see if I can see this. Hold on. Let me see it. I want to see if it's going to, oh, okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can show this. I don't think I can. Maybe I can. No, I can't. Somebody else probably, but I wouldn't have that kind of success. It doesn't matter which channel. This is like my teeniest channel, or one of my teeny channels. But if I showed something on this teeny channel, you can bet it will get picked up. So we'll just leave that there. But I want to thank the subscriber who sent this to us here at the Lockhart Perspective. This story is very, very eye-opening, and it's something that everybody needs to get to start watching. Start looking into this kind of stuff. Okay? Start looking into it, because you will find that there is a lot of stuff that is going on. A lot of stuff. A lot. All right, you guys. There's some good stuff over here in this mailbag. You know what I think I'm going to do? Go over to Patreon tomorrow. Those of you who are Patreon members, I'm going to read some of this. I'm going to go in ahead and make some videos, maybe just one tomorrow, and then a couple of more as the weeks go on, and just start sticking them over there, because we just got some information that says we're not going to be able to say a very big thing now, and they're just all done with it. They're just like finished. They're just done with us. They can't tolerate us anymore. So with that said, I'm not even going to chance it. I will put it over there though. So check it out tomorrow, Rachel Van Zyl. I know that you are one of the Patreons here. And so, yeah, so for you're actually a Patreon for the large channel, which all of our channels are connected, right? Headlines, TLP Headlines with a Voice is a understudy of Headlines with a Voice. And then we got the Mama Bear, which is the Lockhart Perspective. So it's just one Patreon, right? Until we start uploading in Headlines with the Voices. And so that'll be possibly next week before all of that switches over. So with that said, I thank y'all for hanging out with me. But yeah, tell somebody about this story here. And it is from, is that Noma? N-O-E-M-A? Noma? That's who that's from. Noma. And it's back in 2015. I think I can put the link here for you guys. Hold on. Yeah, I got it right there. See how I did that? See how you do that? See how you do that? Thinking on these. Oh, I like that name. Is that like Think on These Things? Whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are of a good report. Think on these things. I like it. All right, everybody, remember what I always say, and that is, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High Yah. You guys take care of yourselves and take care of one another until we see one another again. Okay? Be blessed. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you along the way, helping you to make it through another day.